Hey guys, we are back in an undisclosed motherfucking location to talk about motherfucking metal, motherfucking music.
Woo!
Fuck yeah!
Metal.
Metal. We're staying metal. So it is that time of year where we are piecing together the last bits of our top 10 of the first half of 2012.
Yep.
So Justin and I being Daryl, are here to talk about our top 10 list from last year. And you're thinking, hey, douchebags, why would you talk about last year? We're in this year. Live in the now, right? No. We wanted to revisit those top 10 lists for the end of the year last year and talk about how those albums feel to us now. Do we feel we ranked them too high? Do we regret anything on there? Do we think maybe something else should have made it? So we just kind of wanted to peek back through our list real quick and see how we feel about that shit now, dog.
Yep.
So Justin, let's go with you first.
All right.
Let's just start with your number one album, Nightwish.
It was Nightwish.
Imaginarium.
How
do you feel about that now? Where are they now?
I love the album, but I honestly haven't had the time to really listen to it in the past couple months. Yeah,
Basically since you put it number one?
I don't think I've listened to it really.
At all?
It's been a good 3 months probably.
Really?
That's terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like peanut buttery goodness.
Yeah. But my second one was Draconian,
Mm-hmm.
A Rose for the Apocalypse, and that one I've listened to recently. And of course, Mastodon, which was my third, I still listen to once a week. About once
Really?
a week. Yeah.
You would actually say once a week?
I actually, when I got my vinyl together, that was one of the first albums that I threw on my new vinyl player that I got. Actually, my very first one was Blood Mountain, and then I threw that one on.
So that's still those. So basically, your top four, basically, you're saying, or your top three at least, are still Draconian and Mastodon are still in the basic rotation, and Nightwish just hasn't quite made it.
I haven't. I don't know. Haven't been in the mood to hear that kind of music lately.
So now, are you saying that you regret putting it number one?
I don't know. I don't know if maybe Draconian could be number one. All right, don't sneeze when I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
Maybe.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, now that I look at it, I do listen to Draconian more. I mean, I could see it of being placed as number one instead of Nightwish. I don't know. I gotta listen to Nightwish again. Damn it! Now I gotta go.
See, that's the problem with these lists. Obviously, it's our top 10 albums at that moment in time, and then a week later it could change.
Yeah. Plus, we're like so busy trying to listen to new stuff. You know?
Yeah, that it does get tough.
And you know, I have a busy schedule. I'm a busy man, Daryl.
Okay. I mean, I gotta say,
I am a man.
oh my God, you just ruined it. I think all the listeners out there thought you were a woman. Gotta think like a woman. No, act like a woman and think like a man.
Anyways,
I'm looking back at my list here, and Junius was number one, and I absolutely have no qualms about putting them number one.
Yeah.
I've listened to that album easily in the hundreds of times.
It's been a little while for me. Besides, like some of the times I hear you playing it, I don't think I've really listened to it in a while either.
That's actually probably the vinyl that I play the most.
Yeah.
It just sounds so good with all the little pops and crackles that vinyl lays out. I definitely can't really fault myself for putting them number one.
They were my number 7.
Yep.
So they made my list, and I like them. I like them to be up there.
Yeah.
You know.
I had Phallic number 2, which is an album that I listen to from time to time. I don't play it as much as Junius, but definitely still love that album.
I actually did just listen to Phallic a couple of weeks ago because I went to the last track. And then I start there and then let it play because I love that piano outro.
I always start with number 1 because that song is just fucking great.
Yeah.
Number 3, I had Project Masquerade, which I will admit I haven't listened to the full album in a while.
Yeah.
But the song Killer of Life, the one that's on our sampler, I listen to very frequently because that song is just a fucking thrashing good time.
Yeah.
I like to break shit to that. And my number 4 was Mastodon, which, yes, Mastodon is still in the rotation. I feel like if I get to a point and I go, man, I don't know what I feel like listening to today, Mastodon the Hunter.
Yep.
Like, let me listen to some Black Tongue, some Blasteroids, some Curl of the Burl, Stargasm, and seeing them live, of course, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And even if you weren't in the mood to, like, listen to that specific album, like, Mastodon just covers, like, a lot of different genres, I feel like, you know, for certain moods, if you want to slow things down and you throw Crack the Sky on and
Yeah.
trip out to that.
I agree. And I haven't listened to Crack the Sky nearly as much as I should be listening to it.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the bottom half of the list, there's a couple in there that I got to ask you about.
Yeah.
Well, we already discussed Phallic. Appalachian Winter. How do you feel about what Dan Klein's doing?
I haven't had the time to listen to his new stuff, but I still occasionally come across that album, and I still love it. I really need to get on top of listening to his newer stuff.
Oh, definitely. I'm surprised it's taken you this long.
Yeah.
But Solitude is still a fucking amazing track.
Yeah.
I actually listened to that on a really nice home theater surround sound system the other day.
Yeah.
So many little details in there that I feel like I missed before. Did he make my top 10? He made my top 10, right? Yeah, he did. He was number 8 on my top 10.
Right. Yeah, it was 4 for me.
Yep. Now, all right, let's get to the big one here. There's one more on here in particular that I really got to ask you about. Well, 2, I guess. Within Temptation, The Unforgiving. I haven't heard you play that at all. You regret that one?
I actually have played that, and I actually used that album because to get my girlfriend into it more.
To get your girlfriend in the mood?
No.
To get in your girlfriend more? Are you using that? Wait. Ladies, if you're out there, if somebody played Within Temptation, does that make them more likely to get laid?
It might.
Well, what was your name?
But, I mean, I've been trying to direct her into the metal genre, and I use that a lot to...
Really?
She brought it up to me one day, and she named a couple tracks off the album.
Well, she's into dancey stuff these days, right?
More dance, techno.
So I can see the dance beat on some of the songs on there. What are the lyrics there? Oh, Sinead for the first time. I'm gonna turn you around.
I don't know.
Bend you over.
You read it. I feel like you read it.
Yeah, I definitely did at some point.
But no, they definitely have like that techno kind of vibe. You could add a beat to it straight up.
Definitely.
But she liked the vocals and everything, and she thought it was cool. And I also started getting her into Catatonia. I actually played it. I'm just doing kind of what you always do to people, and how you got me into metal was like you will just play something and not tell them what it is, and let them decide on their own.
Yep.
And then when they realize that they like it, then they say, "What is this?" And then you tell them, "Yeah, you're listening to fucking Opeth right now,
motherfucker."
Yeah, supplies.
You got punked.
Yeah. So when she asked me, I was playing Catatonia and the new album, and she actually out of nowhere she was like, "Oh, what is this? What are you listening to right now?" I was like, "Oh, well, let me tell you. This is metal."
Metal.
But yeah, I mean, for its time being new in that year, I could still see it up there.
Yeah, we're talking like this just so long. Oh, when it was new in that year.
Yeah, for its time.
Right there.
But like, one thing I had a couple notes on the side before that I did mention that didn't make my top 10 list was Stradivarius and Amon Amarth, and I still kind of question maybe Stradivarius should have been on the top 10.
Now Stradivarius was your number 1 of the halfway point, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it didn't even make it. Like I have Ed Guy at number 9, and maybe that could have bumped off. I'm looking at it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing because I don't think you've listened to that Ed Guy album at all.
Not in a while. But I also haven't listened to North Song in a while either, and that was my number 10.
True.
So honestly, those two could bump those up because I'll still listen to Stradivarius every once in a while. I'm on a Marth here and there too. I haven't listened to the new album in a while, but I feel like I've gone back to some of their older stuff. Like a month ago.
Well, I think one of the things when we were putting together that top 10 list, we had that little disclaimer that basically said, ignore the ratings we gave them. These are the albums that we enjoyed personally.
Right.
So, and I think that when we do our top 10 lists for the first half of the year, that's going to come into play again.
Yeah.
Because there were some albums in the, I think you gave Junius, didn't you give Junius like an 8.5 or something like that? It wasn't.
I think I gave it a 9.
Did you? And looking back to me, that's about as perfect an album as we've had.
Yeah.
So,
it's tough too. Yeah, and then the more you listen to an album, then the more you fall in love with it, and then you
all the little subtleties.
Yeah, right. All the small stuff, and then you make
all the small things. Yeah.
All the small things.
Because remember the mid-year mark, I had Amorphous as my number 1,
right? And
I thought it was far and away the best album of the first half. It didn't even make my top 10.
I was just gonna say, was it on
made yours?
Yeah, it made mine
at
at 8, number 8.
Yep. And honestly, for me, it was just because there were so many other albums that struck me so hard
Yeah.
You know, the bottom three for me, bottom four was 3, the Ghost You Gave to Me, which I listen to a lot still.
Which I haven't listened to.
At all? You haven't
No.
listened to it once?
I don't think I listened to it
damn.
at all. I might have heard a song.
Well, we heard that song live. They played Sparrow.
Yeah.
You should definitely give that a listen, man. It's still so good.
Yeah.
Appalachian Winter,
Yep.
which I love Solitude. That song is going to be one of my favorite songs for a very, very long time. And then I had Nemesis and Omit. And those two, I don't think I've listened to the full albums recently, but I
Yeah.
definitely pick out a track. The thing is, for me, I listen to a lot of the same stuff when I'm driving, because I know what I want to hear in the car, and that's a lot of Catatonia, Mastodon, Opeth, stuff like that. It's when I'm at home that I'm listening to the other stuff.
The weird stuff.
And in particular when I'm in the office, which I don't go in there a whole lot at this point because it's really fucking hot in there.
Right.
Gotta get some AC or some shit. But I want to go off on a tangent here. Something that you said has me thinking. Okay. So we'll get back to that list in a second. Okay. But you were talking about how, you know, use Catatonia to get people into metal. And my girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend, is, you know, not a metalhead, but she actually said to me the other day, you know, Daryl, I really like Catatonia. And I looked at her and I just had tears in my eyes, like I knew that you did. And so I was thinking in my head, and you go back through their catalog, and I don't know how much of their catalog you've really gotten into. I've listened to all of their albums at some point or another. I really like the newer ones more. I like the melody and the kind of sadness that they bring with the newer albums. But what people forget about is the idea of singles and B-sides. It's not really a big thing in metal.
Right.
Catatonia executes it to perfection.
Oh yeah, they definitely have.
The Great Cold Distance had 3 singles. There was Deliberation, July, and My Twin. Mm-hmm. Obviously those songs are 3 of the best songs on that album.
Yeah.
But what they did on the singles is remixes and just B-side tracks. The remixes are cool, especially the Opium Dub remix of My Twin is really cool. Mm-hmm. But the B-sides, Catatonia's B-sides are better than the A-sides from a lot of metal bands. There was Displaced, Dissolving Bonds, Code Against the Code.
Did I hear them?
Yes, definitely at some point.
Right.
Definitely. But the B-sides are just so good. And then there was the Longest Year EP that had that song Sold Hard on it.
Was that a physical copy? Not the Longest Year, but the other one?
The other one? Yeah. I own all 3 physical copies.
So maybe I have
Got them on Amazon.
Maybe I don't have it.
But, I mean, their B-sides are so good. You think this is what they left off the album.
Yeah, right.
And that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's always impressive.
Besides those albums, the only one I really got into was Viva La Emptiness.
Viva Emptiness, yeah.
Or Viva Emptiness.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. And that's kind of the gradual step backwards.
Yeah.
For me,
because there was 3 or 4 tracks I really like on that album.
Yeah. And the downside is that, you know, as you go back into the older albums, some of the recording was really bad. So when we saw them live, they played Omerta.
Yeah.
And then you go back and listen. And then you go back and listen to the recording of it, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the live version.
Right. But that's what got me into it, was that just the melody and everything, and that song was. I was like, oh, I now have to hear that again. Like I never heard that before, and when you told me it was on that album, that's when I got into it. What was the other one? Was it Criminal?
Criminal.
Was the other one?
Cross the line, you fucker.
Yeah, it's a good song. Just the
that line in particular. Basically the pre-chorus just drives it. It's not like
but I'm so used to it now.
Money.
Yeah, it's so used to it, or I just sing along to it anyways. You know.
I sing along, but every time I do, I have this shit-eating smile on my face. Like, fuck, what were you thinking, Jonas? Man, what were you thinking? And that's the only song of theirs where I listen to the lyrics and go you must have really been out of, it's like Death Clock, right? The song about, falling and hurting yourself.
I was just going to say from the newer episode.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Getting back to our lists.
Back to the list, sorry.
I want to ask you, you had Draconian on your top 10,
I did.
Right?
It was number 5 for me.
Okay. What do you think about that album now? I feel like that album is so down your alley. It has everything that you love. The way that you're into Opeth basically. Opeth / Swallow the Sun. I feel like this album covered everything, and it has amazing female vocals.
I agree 100%. I will say I haven't listened to it recently because I've been off on so many other fucking things. I think that's the problem with doing this site. I think we spend so much time listening to new stuff that we have limited time to listen to the stuff we want.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad because we've discovered a lot of awesome bands this way. But anyway, you're right. That album is damn near perfect. In the Death Doom genre, you don't get much better than that.
Yeah.
But it makes me sad listening to it, knowing that Lisa Johansson isn't part of the band anymore. And they haven't announced a replacement. I know they had done auditions, but that's sad, man. And I'm sure they can get someone good.
Yeah, half decent, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still going to follow them, and I'm sure they're still going to be great, you know?
Which, sorry, gets me off on another tangent. Your Trees of Eternity, the side project from Swallow the Sun with that girl, Aaliyah. Leah, whatever her name is. They're actually securing a label deal right now.
Really?
So there actually is going to be an album.
That's awesome.
I guess they were working on the album and the deal and whatever. So that's a complete side note.
Yeah, that project's been... That has nothing to do with what you were just talking about.
No, nothing at all.
But Trees of Eternity, I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, you've been waiting for that for...
That project's been for a couple years now. We've discovered him like at least been like 2 years. I think that we at least I knew about him. I think you knew about him a little before that even. You might have like...
And all they had was the MySpace.
Yeah, right. And that's all you can really get. Like I remember I actually purchased her... her solo, she had like a solo demo, and it wasn't metal at all, but it was still like dark, like gothic-y type.
Because she got the voice for it.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it was, still worth buying. It was like 5 tracks, but yeah, she should definitely do more. She has a lot of talent.
I think one of the things to take away from these lists is obviously, we do the best. We're being honest with what we listen to and what we like the most, and that's tough. So. Our mid-year top 10 lists will be out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks from now.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a blooper reel.
Yep, we got the blooper reel next week.
Yep, in a week.
And then we'll do our band of the month for July 1st. Can't wait to see who that's gonna be. We don't even know yet.
Yep.
And then the 8th will be our top 10 list for the first half of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's pretty secure. I think that. The first half is so much easier than the full year.
Yeah.
Because the first half you look and go, okay, let's go from January to July, and there are so many great albums that stand out. So, I think it'll be easy this time.
Yeah.
The first half.
I actually put together a big list of like the first half, my 10, and I came up with 14 and 3 EPs. Which obviously we're just going to mention them, so I wanted to have them.
That's one of those things. EPs don't count towards our top 10 list,
right.
But
so I
definitely
have them
a
listed on the side just so we can also bring them up. I know everybody's like sitting at home right now, like, oh come on, mention a few.
Well, but I told you
we're not gonna.
Oh no, I'll give you one right now on my top 10 list.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be number 4.
Number 4.
Last week I revealed there will be a number 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 4 this time.
I have a different number 4 than you.
Well, I guess we don't even know. I don't even know his top 10 list. We don't know either of our lists.
I don't
even
know my own yet.
So. Yeah, I've only just started.
Yep.
Solidifying the 10. I think my top 5 are set in stone. Yep. I don't think they're going anywhere. But I exposed Justin to one of my top 10 tonight while we were working. So But yeah, so soon enough you will get those lists.
Yep.
Couple little things to mention. We haven't done this in a while. You should listen to Light and Darkness Radio all the time.
Yeah.
Check out his playlist. I know he's got the new Rhapsody in his playlist now and all that shit. Like us on Facebook, because there are people in the world who care about that. We're not those people, but people who look at the site care about that. Don't worry about MySpace. Nobody gives a shit. But we're on Tumblr and Google+. You can follow us there.
Yep.
You should follow us on everything.
Yep.
And we've made it easy for you guys to get the sampler.
Oh, this is where I add the drum roll.
Yeah, but I spent some time and I set up...
That's a terrible drum roll.
Well, my girlfriend can't roll her R's. She can't roll her R's. Can you roll your R's?
Yeah.
So you say like rat or something like that.
Yeah.
She can't. So when she does it, she just goes rah 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 rah. Sorry, Stacey. But anyway, so now you can get the sampler in digital or physical form. It's all on sorroweternal.bandcamp.com. And you can listen to every track on the sampler.
Yep.
Awesome stuff on there. A lot of the stuff actually from our top 10 list. Appalachian Winter's on there. Project Masquerade.
Yeah, feel free to preview it and then find out how awesome it is and then pick up a copy.
Yep. So it's $5 for the digital download, and that's just whatever format you want. 320 kilobytes per second, FLAC, whatever you want. And it's $6 for the physical CD plus shipping, which is cheap. 12 tracks, and it's like 60 minutes or something. It's pretty long, so you're getting your bang for your buck.
Yep.
So get on there and go ahead and order one, and I'll ship it out personally. And if you want it autographed, send us an email, sorroweternalblog@gmail.com, and say, I would like that CD I ordered autographed.
It's a good idea.
And we will autograph it
That's right.
with our